And I know people yell out, well, Lord, why are there so many poor people? Why are there so many hurting people in the world? And you know God's response? I was about to ask you the same thing. That's what God is saying. Next time you ask God, why are there so many poor people? Why is there so much suffering and hurt? God's answer is going to be the same. Well, what are you going to do about it? Why would God say that? Because you and I have been entrusted to do so. That means God has confidence. God doesn't have a backup plan. God doesn't have plan B and C. The plan is that those of us who have accepted the good news that Jesus came to redeem, to liberate, and to save, those of us who have accepted that, we have the responsibility. Don't forget about the poor. Don't forget about the poor. God puts confidence in you. God puts confidence in me. The good news of this text, here's the good news of this text. The good news is, in verse 10, it says, don't forget about the poor, that we remember the poor. That's the only thing. I only asked one thing, remember the poor. Well, we're supposed to remember the poor because God always remembers the poor. And God remembers you when you are in your poor state of being, whatever that is. God has not forgotten about you when you are in a state of being poor. God remembers you. God reaches out to you. When you're dealing with pain and frustration, please know that God remembers you. When you're dealing with doubts and fears, please know that God remembers you. When you're dealing with feelings of helplessness, please know that God has not forgotten about you. Even in your financial situation, please know that God has not forgotten about you. In your disappointments and your regrets, please know that God has not forgotten about you. So what do you do? What do you do? What are we supposed to do that we've accepted the gospel, and now that God has entrusted us with the gospel? Here's something you can do. Why not every single day? Well, no, let's not start with every single day. Let's start with today. Today. Just do something nice for somebody. Not in your family. I mean, aside from them, you do stuff nice for your family and your friends. I'm talking about a complete stranger. Just today, just do something nice for somebody. That's sharing the gospel. That's how you share it. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Maybe it's simply opening the door for someone as you go into a store. Maybe it's letting someone have your place in line because you see they have fewer groceries. Maybe it's simply letting someone in when you're trying to get to work in traffic. Maybe it's giving some water to someone on the street. I don't know what it is. But today, do something nice for someone. You do something nice for someone, then you can say, God, I think you can trust me. And once you do something nice for someone today, then do it tomorrow. And then the next day. And make that a part of your daily routine. That today, it can be a small gesture, but today, every day, I'm going to do something nice for someone. That's my way of sharing the gospel that God has entrusted me with. Amen.